What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. Everton have lost 3-0 to Bournemouth. We've conceded 7 goals to Bournemouth in a week. This is up there, you know. Like this is up there. It feels like Norwich away last season. I didn't get the impression from the players today that they are bothered. I would argue that from an attacking sense, we are poor. And what speaks volumes of that is the fact that Bournemouth, I think, have conceded 32 Premier League goals this season, and Everton didn't really lay a glove on them. Maupay is as a striker coming in as a number 9, playing through the middle, is a complete waste of time. He doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't constructively do anything. So the ball going up to him, whether it be long balls, which are pointless, bearing in mind it's about 4 foot, it's pointless. But that's not his fault. That's the team behind him as well. That's Pickford, that's the centre halves, that's the wing backs, that's the midfield. You know, got that. And we're not playing enough balls into the box for him to get across a man. He hasn't got the movement to get across a man. He hasn't got that burst of acceleration. He's not the only problem. It's just from a striking capacity, we're not scoring goals, and he, unfortunately, is the striker. You could probably put any striker in the world into this Everton team and they wouldn't score lots of goals because there is not enough chances being created. Every time Demarai Gray gets the ball on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, he stops. He doesn't make that quick cross into the box. He tries to beat a man. There was one moment at about 75 minutes. You can see free-flowing all of a sudden. Everton are coming forward. Ball goes into his feet. He tries to take 2 people on. Instead of just putting the ball in the box straight away. It is shit. It is shit, and there's no getting around the fact that how embarrassing this is. I'm not sitting here digging out Bournemouth as a football team. I'm not digging out any Premier League team because everyone can beat everyone on the day. You know, we saw Brentford go to Man City today and win. You know, we can see quality teams, quality players are in all of the teams now. You know, you can name a few. You know, Brighton have got a few: Trossard, Pascal Grobe, Ivan Toney at Brentford, even Ben Mee as a centre-half. You know, this team today, Bournemouth, they've got some quality. You know, that Jordan Zamora ripped the right-hand side a new one. They've got ball players. They've got people who can carry the ball in the box. That Tavernier looks fantastic. You know, and these players are players that, if Everton were linked with them, you'd be like, oh, yeah, oh. But actually, these players improve Everton. That's how far we are. That's how poor we are. You know, and there's a lot of people that are saying Frank in, Frank out. You know, I'm seeing loads of people on Twitter saying, you know, we shouldn't keep changing our managers and we shouldn't swap and change. And I am of that opinion, but I've been of that opinion for a long time. But the problem is, I don't feel like Frank's learning. I always said, and I said this last season, I said it's fine having an inexperienced manager if he's learning. And he's not learning. He's not learning. He's setting up the team out every single week to be the same. It's like he's changed from playing defensive, where we were getting clean sheets or only conceding 1, to playing more open in midfield. And we're getting pegged. We're getting absolutely done. Every turnover, every second ball, we're losing it. Silly fouls in the middle of the park. There was a corner today on about the 85th minute, right? And you would expect Everton to be bombarding that box at that point. The ball comes in for a corner. It goes to, I think, Christie, who's just come on as a sub. And instead of a man trying to get to him, he can take a touch on the edge of his 18-yard box and carry the ball out of danger. No one's snapping in. No one's making that tackle. No one's getting in his face. No one's even challenging him. The third goal today is a shambles because the ball comes into the box and there is literally no one there to mark a header. And I don't even know who the defender or the midfielder was who's meant to be on that man. But whoever it was shocking. The first goal, another mistake by Jordan Pickford. The game before the World Cup, and he's dropping crosses like that. You know, it's laughable. It is laughable. And from top to bottom of this football team, we're having the same debate that I feel like we have had now over and over again for about 6 years, on and off. On and off. The second half of the season under Ancelotti, poor. This season under Frank, poor. Last season under Rafa, poor. The second half of last season under Frank, poor. You know, this Everton side have had £580 million spent in 6 years, and we deserve to be relegated. Like, we can sit here all day long saying we're a massive football club and we've won all these titles and we've been successful in the FA Cup and we've won a European Cup Winners' Cup. It means nothing now. It means nothing. We haven't won anything in the best part of 30 years, is it? 95, I was at 30 years, yeah. 30 years, 27 years ago, we've won nothing. We've won nothing. We played in Europe a few times. And there's even people on Twitter, and probably watching this, who are going, yeah, no, I don't want David Moyes. He took us to our ceiling, 5th or 6th. Mate, offer me a 5th place finish right now, and I'd snap your hand off. I'd actually give you a limb for it. Because we're so far away from that. You know, David Moyes coming to a West Ham side that was sitting 17th, 18th when he come in. And their fans are moaning because they're like 11th or 12th and they're losing at home. When actually they've had 2 seasons in Europe and a Europa League final. You know, I sit there. If somebody offered me David Moyes right now, I'd snap your hand off. I'd snap your hand off. And I know that people say, oh yeah, you shouldn't go back, you shouldn't go. Who else would want to come and manage his football team? When they know the board are shithouses, don't know what they're doing. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible, top to bottom. They don't know what they're doing. We are rotten to the core. You know, if the common denominator is the board, then that explains the 7 managers that have gone before. You know, if there is one problem that is singled out, the board is consistent. The board is consistent. Ken Wright, Mashiri, Denise, they're all there still. They're all there, loving life, probably earning millions of pounds. Well, they are earning millions of pounds because they're one of the best paid boards in the league. And Everton are absolute toilet, on and off the pitch. On and off the pitch. It is pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. And we go to Bournemouth today. My match preview, I'm saying 1-0 Everton. I'm saying 1-0. I'm saying that Everton have got to go and win this game because of the way that we lost in the Carabao Cup midweek, the way that we lost at home to Leicester. You know, it makes the Fulham result and the Crystal Palace result before that so significant, because if we hadn't picked up that point at Fulham or that 3 points at home to Palace, we'd be right bottom. Because the other teams around us are all getting points and wins and results. You know, Leeds are scoring loads of goals and getting opportunities, and you know, you've got Bournemouth picking up wins, you've got Brentford picking up wins, you've got Forest picking up wins, you've got Leicester picking up wins, and you've got Everton who have won 1 in 7. 9 in 32, and we have lost 20 out of the last 47 games. Oh, sorry, 27 out of the last 47. We've either won or drawn the other 20. This team is finished. This team is finished, and Cody and Tarkowski have been great. They've been great additions. They have, and there's no doubt in that, because at this time last season, I think Everton had conceded 25 goals or something, and this season I think it's 18. So it is an improvement defensively. We've conceded our first goal from a cross today, or a set piece, or a free kick, or a corner. I can't remember the stat, but we've conceded our first goal from that today. And 15 games in, I can almost live with that one, but I can't live with the other. I can't live with the second, because again, you've got a man down. VAR, should we be stopping the game for head injury? It goes up, and then the first one's Pickford error. But either way, even if Bournemouth score 0, Everton still don't score today. So the most they take out of that game is a point, because we didn't hit the post. Goalkeeper didn't have to make any tremendous saves. We haven't scored now with 5 out of the last 6 Premier League games. This team is toilet. It's toilet. Gordon can't do anything. Malpay can't do anything. Iwobi is a lot of hot air, but if he's not getting anyone moving around him, I feel really sorry for him, because his legs in midfield are just being burnt to a crisp. And Damari Gray, he turns it on and off. Sometimes he looks like Messi. The next thing you know, he looks like Malcolm Christie. So the team's dumb. The team's dumb. It's dumb. dump. It's like coming to a Nerf fight. It's like coming to a gunfight with a Nerf gun. You know, somebody pulls out an AK-47 and they go shot and goes goals and there's opportunities, and we come with a Nerf gun that's blunt. Boom. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. And if this Everton team don't fix this, make no excuses, make no bones about it. The Premier League this season is better, in my opinion, than last season. That every single team this season can beat every team, and I don't think you could say that last season. This season's different. This season is different. Absolutely. And Everton need to do something, whether that be commit to backing Frank Lampard in January, or, and I did not want to say this, or change the manager. I'm not here shouting for Lampard out, but there is a 6-week break, and if there is an experienced manager that thinks he can do a better job with this group of players, that group of people, they're not footballers, they're people, they're poor people. Maybe it's the time. That's all I'm saying, because I'm not shouting for Frank to be out, but we've looked woeful in the last 3 games, and we've conceded 9 goals, and we've conceded poor goals in all of those games, where we've looked second best in every game at every opportunity. John gave me a stat earlier, and I don't know if it's true, but it was something like before the game, or halfway through the game, Everton had 26 corners in 15 games. I mean, that is 2.2 corners per game, or whatever that works out to. Is shocking. It's absolutely shocking. So, big changes, big things have to happen, but yeah, I'm not happy Evertonian today, and I'd be very surprised if any of you are. But guys, look, I love you. Keep smiling. We haven't got 6 weeks now. I'm not going to be tuning in much to the World Cup, because I don't agree with Qatar's stance on, anything, to be honest. So I'm not really going to be doing much content for the World Cup, but I would still be doing Everton content, still be doing a little bit of different stuff, and obviously I'm hoping, touch wood, that I'll be moving into my house. So you might see it the week or two where I don't do much content, but stick with us, guys. We're still going to be there. It's going to be better, actually. And make sure you hit the like button and subscribe.